Despite my being inherently bearish on Bitcoin, there is a place where I will go all in with longs at little to no risk at all. What's happening in Bitcoin is no news whatsoever to anyone who follows this channel. In the last episode, the most important technical episode on Bitcoin so far, we even talked about how Bitcoin might have had one final pump in store prior to rolling over, which is exactly what happened, yet moreover how irrelevant the prospect of such pump would be as we were already out of the market and its high-risk danger zone. For this move right here, as we've been very vocal about before it was even initiated, is nothing more than a B-wave until proven otherwise, or simply put, a bull trap. And as we've talked about this continuously, even before it materialized, it goes on to prove that news don't necessarily move Bitcoin. Herd psychology does. And that's exactly what we apply ourselves to measure with technical analysis. To any Swedish-speaking followers who may have missed it, I am now active on the signal service Augere. All day long I scout for trades and trade setups, which I then go on to publish in real time, including entries, stop losses and target levels, and with a main focus on Bitcoin and cryptos. I produce a lot of content there and I would love to see you there too. And on top of that, there are another 5 professional traders who publish every trade they take, all of which you can join in on too without having to put in the work. We do that for you. I personally follow on average a couple of trades every day and I'm quite astounded by the talent of my colleagues. In this sense, by signing up, you literally get to follow 6 professional traders and every move we make in one single place. Some of you may think it's expensive. To those of you, I beg to differ, for this is not a Netflix subscription. This is a professional service aimed at making you money. No one would think twice before spending 33 kroner a day on a coffee, and that's exactly what this service costs. Coffee a day. So sign up now with the link in the description and you will get an initial 15% off for the first 3 months if you write September 2021 in the discount box. I really look forward to seeing you on Augere. Now, in this episode, we will discuss something rather remarkable, but before doing so, please note that nothing in this episode constitutes financial advice. And if you appreciate this content, then please return the favor by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. These episodes take a lot of time to make, but more importantly, they are the result of long hours of intense graph analysis. I never settle with whatever first meets the eye, and this is why we have been correct in every single reversal so far, from our selling at 62 and 58,000, on buying it all back at 32,000, and in selling it all again in this high risk danger zone. Let's now identify the high value, low risk, high rewarded deal breaker area in Bitcoin. Let's begin by taking a look at the crash the other day. First of all, this here was no ordinary drop. This is as vertical as it gets. And at its worst, Bitcoin had lost more than $10,000 in a single day and at massive trading volumes at that. Yet, does that mean then that Bitcoin is doomed for the upcoming weeks or months? No, it doesn't. Anything can happen at any times, but that doesn't mean it's likely to. And this plunge right here simply tells us that the chances of a fast recovery have decreased rather significantly. For this right here is like being hit really hard in the face. You find yourself on the floor, and if you're lucky enough, you might stand up after a while once the dizziness has gone. And this is the reason I don't expect Bitcoin to find its way back up towards the recent local highs anytime soon. If it does so, on the other hand, people will start waving bullish flags and cheering for the moon. But by then, we would already be all in since the very bottom. Again, staying way ahead of the curve. And this is rather impressive, so stay tuned. Now, in order to maintain any hope of a near future recovery, as in the upcoming few weeks, Bitcoin must stay above this key support zone at $41,000 to $42,700. If this breaks, however, which I still expect it to do sometime soon, you might as well buckle up again and put on that crash helmet of yours. For this time, the impact will crush the skulls of many hodlers, moonboys, and perma bulls. With that said, it doesn't really matter what the outcome will be, for we will still profit handsomely regardless. But why then is that support zone at $41,000 to $42,700 so important? The importance of this zone is rather significant. First of all, it has acted as support and resistance no less than 7 times now, which makes it even more significant than the all-time high resistance zone. But not only that, for if we look at how the price has reacted upon each and every touch apart from this late July one, we quickly notice how the price has bounced off near vertically up on any contact with it. In hindsight, this speedy August recovery was a clear indication on its own that it was about to break. My point here is that once we were to retest it again as support, if we don't see an aggressive bounce, it is time to start paying attention, as in prepare for much lower prices and get the hell out of the way. For to put it simply, bounces like these would be highly unlikely. With that said, what can we realistically expect from now on? Like I said, this key zone of support is the wall that divides the bulls from the bears. For anything below this is angry bear territory, at which I expect the price to get obliterated. But this doesn't mean the price will break through it. Our zigzag thesis might, for all we know, be proven wrong eventually. It is therefore of supreme importance to identify the key areas of reversals. And this zone right here, this is the one. Now, this zone is rather clear-cut. Bitcoin stays above it, there's hope. Bitcoin breaks below it, not so much, at least not in the short run. If we toy around with the thought that Bitcoin is in fact on a bullish recovery, that it is not going down significantly prior to being ready for its final leg up, then this right here is where we want to enter with longs. For in such case, this here would be the second wave of the fifth wave, as in an ideal buying opportunity, as the third wave of any impulse tends to be both the strongest and the longest. With that said, I still believe Bitcoin is going down, and that it's going down a lot. Naturally, this would mean that this support won't hold up eventually, yet we can still profit from it, and here's how. Even if Bitcoin were to eventually break this key support, I don't expect the price to break through it right away. This zone should simply be too strong for that. No, I expect it to retest the zone as support at least one more time, and it is how the price reacts that will tell us everything we need to know. So far, Bitcoin has only tested this support for real on 2 occasions, both of which the price bounced aggressively. My plan is therefore to enter an all-in long position up on the next retest, and here's where things get truly beautiful. In case we were to experience something similar to the August breakthrough preparations, I will make sure to take some immediate profits between $44,000 to $45,000, as in releasing 10 to 15% of my then massive position. Upon this, I will also increase my stop loss to break even, so that I'm guaranteed profits no matter what. For if Bitcoin were to only bounce a few sad percent, I will take it as a probable sign that the bulls have run out of steam, and that the next retest won't hold up for the bearish pressure. If, on the other hand, Bitcoin were to continue rallying, we will then be positioned with 85 to 90% of our net worth for the third wave to come. And this means we would have bought it all at the ideal high return, low risk spot. For the worst that can happen is either of 2 things. Either we'll make some decent profits on 10 to 15% and then get stopped out with the rest at break even, upon which we'll then be safe for any bearish collapse. Or Bitcoin simply plunges through this key support zone upon which we lose 4 to 5% depending on where in this zone we entered. And do note that this scenario is rather unlikely. I don't know about you, but I can sure live with a 4 to 5% loss, even a 10% loss if the upside is in the hundreds, because this would equate to 20 to 1 to 100 to 1 odds to cover the entire mathematical span. And those odds in turn are even greater if we account for the small likelihood of Bitcoin breaking through this zone without a fight.
Who wants a fight?
You'll get a fight.
And even more so if we add the profits we'll make on any minor support bounce. For let me put it clearly, this right here is how you make serious money. Yet even if Bitcoin were to just cut through this zone like a flaming knife through butter, it will amount to significant technical weakness. In such case, I will ladder in shorts for whatever my life's worth upon any retest of this zone, which would then have turned into resistance once again. This should more than well compensate for the 4 to 5% initial loss, or 10% if it were to go into the extremes. Put frankly, despite my being bearish, I am very excited about a heavy long position at this very zone, for the risk to reward is just too fantastic and the financial downside minimal at most. That was all for now. Thank you and goodbye.